Imagine being 16 and getting your first job in radio. Picture the bewilderment and thrill of being handed a script, stepping in front of a microphone, and broadcasting your voice to the world. That's how our journey begins, in the heart of a bustling radio station, where a teenager is about to take his first step into the media industry. The studio bustles with activity, but when the red light flicks on, there's an immediate hush. The young man reads his copy, his voice echoing out to listeners everywhere. It's a moment of pure magic, where a lifelong passion for media is kindled. The feedback is immediate and overwhelmingly positive. The kid can read, they said, and just like that, a 16-year-old boy becomes a radio professional. His voice becomes a familiar friend to the listeners, his youthful enthusiasm a breath of fresh air. And as a freshman, the calls started coming in from television. Television was never part of the plan, but when CBS calls, you answer. Imagine being a 16-year-old, juggling the demands of school and a burgeoning career in radio, when suddenly a call from CBS turns everything on its head. It wasn't just a call, it was an invitation into the world of television, an opportunity that could not be ignored. At first, the prospect seemed daunting. How could one manage a biology class at 1 in the afternoon and a potential job in television? The conundrum was real, and the answer was elusive. But sometimes the most profound insights come from the most unexpected places. In this case, it was a professor who provided the much-needed clarity. Mr. Cox, the same professor who once quipped that our protagonist couldn't draw a straight line with a ruler, was the one to impart the wisdom that would change everything. Upon hearing about the call from CBS, he said, "That is why you go to school, fool, so that CBS can call you." That simple, yet profound statement was the nudge that was needed. It was a reminder that education wasn't just about acquiring knowledge, it was about preparing for opportunities like this. With newfound clarity, the decision was made, the call was returned, and the interview scheduled. The prospect was daunting, of course. Venturing into television without any prior knowledge or experience was like stepping into the unknown. But sometimes, the most rewarding journeys start with a leap of faith. And so, armed with nothing more than the conviction that this was the right path, the transition to television began. It was a world far removed from the familiar confines of radio, a world that would require learning new skills and adapting to new challenges. But with a sense of purpose and a willingness to learn, our protagonist was ready for whatever lay ahead. And so, with no prior knowledge or experience, the journey into television began. Entering a new field requires learning and adapting, and television was no different. Picture a 16-year-old, fresh from the world of radio, stepping into the bright lights and frantic pace of a television studio. This transition wasn't a simple leap. It was a plunge into the unknown, with the daunting task of learning how to write scripts, film segments, and navigate the uncharted waters of live broadcasting. Barbara Walters was a beacon of inspiration during this period. The subject admired her, thinking, "If Barbara can do it, why not me?" And so she threw herself into the work, learning from every stumble and fall. Despite the challenges, there was a silver lining. The era was one of live-action cameras, a time when news stations would throw to a live shot, even when there was nothing happening, just for the thrill of saying live-action cam. This was where the subject found her stride. She discovered that she wasn't as skilled in the script-writing aspect of the job, but when it came to standing up and talking about what had just happened, she was a natural. Her sincerity and charisma shone through in these live segments, making her a hit with the viewers. Imagine being so young, yet so adept at conveying the emotions and urgency of a live broadcast. It was a talent that did not go unnoticed. Soon, she was promoted to the position of a television anchor. She was only 19 years old, yet she held one of the most prestigious positions in the news industry. Becoming an anchor was a significant accomplishment. But it was also a testament to her ability to adapt and learn in an industry that was as challenging as it was exhilarating. She had managed to find her footing, leveraging her strengths to carve out a successful career. And so, at 19, the subject became a television anchor. Being a television anchor at 19 came with its own unique set of challenges. Imagine being the woman on the newscast at 10 o'clock, delivering the news to thousands of viewers, and then racing home to meet an 11 o'clock curfew. Yes, that was the reality for our subject, whose father, a stickler for rules, expected her back home before the clock struck 11. The irony of the situation wasn't lost on her. She was the anchor, the face of the 10 o'clock news, yet she had to rush home right after. It was a peculiar mix of professional responsibility and youthful restriction. But it wasn't just about meeting curfews. As she navigated the world of television, she began to feel a disconnect. Reporting, she realized, was not her true calling, even though she was grateful for the job. There was something about it that didn't quite fit, like a puzzle piece forced into the wrong place. Then came the job offer from Atlanta, attempting $40,000 a year. It was a significant leap from her then salary of $10,000, but her boss, seeing the raw, unpolished talent in her, advised her to stay, to hone her skills, to perfect her craft. He offered her a raise, but it was only a fraction of the Atlanta job's salary, $12,000. Yet she listened. She felt a resonance in his words, a truth that she couldn't ignore. So she chose to stay, to learn, to grow. She turned down the allure of the $40,000 and decided to invest in herself instead. This decision, though difficult at the moment, proved to be instrumental in shaping her future. It was a testament to her commitment to her craft, her dedication to becoming the best version of herself. And so the journey continued, following what felt like the truth and leading to a successful career in television.